So I'll quickly do the bench. So you see there just a mist spray. You don't need to get right close and do a jet spray. And then you just do every inch of the bench. Now, sometimes with benches, depending on the colour and the finish, you won't be able to see clearly just by looking up here. So it's often good to stand back, find a light source and let the reflection of the light across the bench show up any marks or anything you can't just see from standing here. And that's very, very common. You can clean a bench like this and you look at it from here and think, yep, I've got it all. You'll stand back, you'll let the light reflect off it, and you'll see a whole bunch of marks that you didn't see from the first position. So always try and get that 45-degree angle, let some light reflect off it, and make sure you have got all the bits and pieces there. Now, ordinarily, in a bench like this, we would step around the other side, but again, because we're filming, I will just reach across. Every now and then you'll find a stubborn bit, you just stick your finger in there like that. So if you do notice, again, around between the sink join and the bench, if there's any build-up, there's another area that's common, you get a build-up of muck. Again, you can get the brush, just go in there and dislodge it, and then use the microfiber to get any excess stuff there. All right, just going to fold this again so I get a cleaner part of the cloth. All right, so when there's things like microwaves, appliances, etc., if it's a microwave, you're not going to move it, so you just want to get under there as best you can with your hand. If it's a kettle or a toaster, something that's easy to move, give that a quick wipe over and then pick it up and get under it. So it's okay to just throw stuff onto the floor because obviously we haven't vacuumed and mopped yet, so don't feel you have to be delicate about that. Sweep everything onto the floor at this point. All right, okay, it's about as far as I can reach over there, so we'll pretend I was able to go up to that end for the minute. When you've done that, stand back, as I said before, just double check your work, make sure you've done everything you can, and once you're satisfied that you've cleaned every part of this surface properly, you then move on to the next part. So things like this, we just give them a quick wipe over. Things like this, we very carefully give them a quick wipe over, but be careful of the buttons and the settings. Also, we don't want to spray into parts like that. Obviously, people are going to use that to drink coffee, make coffee with milk. Same with fruit. If there's a bowl like this, move it out of the way, give it a spray behind it. Always move things, get underneath them, get behind them, and put them back basically where you found them. Obviously, it doesn't have to be millimetre perfect. All right. So this is actually quite new and clean, so there's not a lot of anything for me to really wipe on this, maybe a bit of dust. Now, often with things like this, because they're next to the stove, they can be greasy. There's also a hazard there because they're knives, so be very cautious of that. But just sort of give that a quick wipe. Like so. And then move it and get in behind it. So same with appliances like this, you want to get in there as much as you possibly can. Things like that you don't move necessarily, but you do want to get into it as best you can. All right.